The entire MLB truly should be terrified of what is going on right now with the San Diego Padres. What's up, everybody, and welcome into Bad for Baseball. I'm your host, Nicholas Blaylock, joined alongside by Adam Peddle. Today, we are talking San Diego Padres, folks. They are looking dangerously good right now. The LA Dodgers, everybody thought they were just going to be a shoo-in to win that division, but lo and behold, there is San Diego right on their tails. Looking over at the standings, folks. LA, 68 wins, 51 losses. There's the San Diego Padres, just one singular game behind them at 67 wins and 52. San Francisco was in the mix for a long time. They have now fallen out of it. This is a two-horse race to win the NL West, and things are certainly not as locked in anymore for those LA Dodgers.
Yeah, it really feels like this season in the NL and especially in the AL, it just feels like it's anybody's game right now. Not too many standalone teams other than the Milwaukee Brewers, who are on another 10-game win streak, mind you. Crazy stuff right there. But the Padres are right there with the Dodgers, and we all know they had an insane deadline, and over the last 15 games, they've won 12 of them, so they're really going on a surge. And we actually talked about this in a podcast, I think it was about 4 podcasts ago, talking about the San Diego Padres deadline, how they doubled down, tripled down on that bullpen, and hey, it's working for them right now, because when you look over at their baseball Fangraphs page, you can see that there's a ton of individuals highlighted in red. Overall, Robert Suarez, second best pitcher in baseball this year. Mason Miller, of course, one of the best in the league. He's 7th. Jason Adam, 25th. This guy, I don't even know how to say his name. Almost sounds like Morhan, 31st. And then you've got here as well this guy, Jeremiah Estrada, 9th in baseball. Like, that is just such a deep bullpen, and of course that leads to the number one bullpen in all of baseball. And for me, if I'm an opposing team, that's the most terrifying thing, knowing that I have to not just play I basically got to play 5 or 6 innings of baseball here, because if I don't win in the first 5 or 6 innings, I feel like I'm basically cooked.
Yeah, I think that I don't want to say that the book is out type thing, but I will say, like, there's a new formula emerging right now where you can win off of just a really stacked bullpen, and that was proven last year with those LA Dodgers. Now, I will admit, you do have to have a strong offense to go along with that, and that's something that the San Diego Padres have struggled with this season. On the year, they're 23rd in runs scored, 22nd in OPS. They get on base, and they hit for a decent average, but nothing is really, I guess, like, driving the point home, because ultimately you still need to be better than that if you want to go and you want to win a World Series. The good news for them is that slowly and surely things are starting to get better. Xander Bogaerts is actually starting to contribute in some capacity.
That's amazing.
Which is good for them, because this guy's getting paid way too much money to honestly just have an OPS plus of 104.
Yeah.
You need to be doing a hell of a lot better than that. But recently the offense is at the very least being competitive and showing signs that they can get better.
Yeah, since the All-Star break, obviously, Luis Arias. He's batting .340. That's what he's going to do when he's at his best. Manny Machado has been, honestly, a resurgence for this team. He's got an OPS of 887. Bogaerts, like you mentioned, 810 OPS. But, like, those are kind of your cornerstone guys. They're also getting contribution from their catcher, Furman. He's got an OPS of 933 in the limited at-bats. But, hey, he's like, off the bench type of role dude. Hell yeah. If he can contribute anything, that would be phenomenal. So that's what they need. Just enough offense against some good pitching, some good competition, and you got to lock it down in the 9th. But also, got to give a shout out to that rotation as well right there. They've been popping off in the last 14 days as well. Dylan Cease, you needed to see him turn around. He's been exceptional. 4th best pitcher in all of baseball in the last 14 days. Yu Darvish as well, top 10 in the last 14 days. That guy has been dealing with a lot of injuries. He's finally back. He's healthy. That's good to see. And when you pair that up with Nick Pivetta, your off-season, miracle signing, and then Michael King, who's finally back, now that rotation is looking pretty deep.
100%, man. I mean, when you just actually look at the name values, I feel like we forget about some of the names on the San Diego Padres squad, right? Yu Darvish is a really good baseball player. I'm not saying that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame, but there will be people that are talking about it when it's all said and done for that guy. He's done a lot in the MLB. Dylan Cease, he got Cy Young votes a couple years ago, right? These are names right here. Michael King has shown that he can be very strong at the MLB level. Nick Pivetta, okay, maybe not as much of a name right there, but he's popping off in his own regard this year. And that lineup, there's names just through and through down the entire thing. If these guys can play to their name value, then this is an extremely scary ball club. I think that they made all the right moves at the deadline, going out and getting O'Hearn, getting Laureano. We forget that they added to that offense in a big way. They kind of pulled a Seattle Mariners, and I would say okay, if Seattle added the most to their offense, then the San Diego Padres were right there, number 2 at the trade deadline when it comes to adding to that overall lineup. So they're making the right moves right now, and I think that if they can just get that lineup to be, I don't know, roughly the 8th best in all of baseball, when you make it to the postseason and when you're up against this squad and they've put up 2 runs against your starting pitcher or what have you, it's just going to be so damn difficult to get those 2 runs back once they take it to their bullpen.
Yeah, I like what you brought up there about Laureano and O'Hearn, because I kind of forgot about that because they made the big move for Mason Miller, and it was oh, that's their big, blockbuster move. But you're right. They haven't even gotten super cooking yet. Laureano's been performing less than he has when he was over there with the Baltimore Orioles. He's got a 791 OPS since the All-Star break for this team. And then you got O'Hearn with only 22 at-bats, 9 games, batting 606 OPS for the team. If they can get cooking, I think this team could be really dangerous come to the postseason.
You got to imagine, too, those O'Hearn stats, the guy's not going to bat 136 for the rest of the season, right?
No.
That's not going to happen. I can't promise you that he's going to be the mid-800 OPS guy that he was all year long, but I think that you can at very least expect him to average out at roughly a mid-700 OPS. Same thing with Laureano, too. He was going insane mode. I would anticipate that he is going to be getting better as time goes on. So I do think that, honestly, this San Diego Padres team, it really has been a slow and steady ramp up, and it kind of feels like a little bit of a train. How whenever a train leaves the station, it really takes a while to start going. It takes a little while to get those cogs moving, but when they're moving, you're not going to stop a moving train. And that's kind of what it feels like with the San Diego Padres, is that just a little, once with a couple weeks from now, if some of these guys continue to turn it on, I don't know who's going to be able to get in the way of the Padres.
Yeah, they needed the offense to get going, and they needed the pitching staff, especially the starting pitching staff, to get healthy. Now the big question is, they're right there behind the Dodgers. The Dodgers got healthy too, so they're trying to get rolling as well. They got to get Mookie Betts rolling as well. He had a big series against the Blue Jays this past weekend, but you got to hope that the Padres train for their sake, it gets rolling a little bit faster and they steamroll ahead of them before they can even catch up, because that's the way they're going to have to do it come postseason.
Yeah, I'll be honest, folks. I've been gassing them up for 8 minutes, but I'm not about to sit here and bet against the Dodgers. That's just, I'm not about to do that. I do think, though, that, okay, Dodgers win the division, fine. Well, Padres, get the first wild card 1 game back of the Dodgers, and, okay, well, it's anyone's game now. We're in the playoffs. So, honestly, I think that if San Diego can make the postseason with that bullpen, and hopefully with the offense that will, I really do believe that they are going to continue to heat up as this season progresses. Yeah, they're going to be a serious threat.
Yes, they will. Guys, you go, let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, especially if you're a Padres fan. How are you feeling about your team? Let it be expressed down below.
Yeah, please make sure to hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, folks, and we will catch you next time.
Cheers.